Hey there, roguelike fans. Today we are taking a look at the game Ghoul. Ghoul was a 7-day roguelike, again, for the 2018 challenge. And it was made by well, I don't know who the gentleman's name is. The company's name is pblc.works. Public Works, I guess, for short. The reason we're taking a look at this game in particular, I actually saw someone else playing it online. And to be honest, it seemed to me that their strategies were a bit amiss. They were really having a difficult time with it. And the more I watched them, I found myself yelling at the screen, do this. And I realized there were some tactics that I could improve upon in their run. So I thought I'd give it a try. Now, I need to give you a very, very important warning before diving into this game. While this is definitively, I guess, a roguelike, there are some strong puzzle-like elements to the game. And once you've really grasped what those puzzle-like elements are, the game is insanely easy. I think it would be, unless I fall asleep at the wheel or I'm playing extremely drunk, I don't think I could lose at this point. I don't think you win either. I don't think there's a victory condition, but I don't think I could lose. So if you want to have the fun of figuring out the strategy for this game on your own, stop the video now, download it from the link I've provided below, and give it a shot, because I'm going to reveal basically how to win, I think, in one fell swoop. But let's get started with Ghoul. If you see my mouse cursor here, I'm clicking on the start button, and there we go. Here is the, I guess, explanation as to what we're doing. Brave Ghoul, remember, the night is short. Line your pockets with the effects of the dead and escape, lest you become one yourself. I'm not a huge fan of these fonts. This smaller font is readable, a little difficult to read, but readable. This great big font up here, the one that says exordium, I don't know what that word is. Perhaps it's Latinum. Latinum. 50 bars of gold pressed Latinum. It's perhaps Latin. Continue, I can read. Let's click that. All right. Now we are in the safe house. Now the very first choice you have in this game is which tomb do you want to rob. This is not the character you are playing. You can see we're on night number 1. We have $0 total. You're choosing whose tomb do you want to rob. We can choose Charles the White, Robert the Ninth, I think that is, or Albert the Third. I'm going to try Albert the Third. Now, actually, this very first game, I'm going to deliberately lose right off the bat because I want to show you basically, the situation you're faced with in this game. Now here we are. Actually, one thing I do want to definitely praise is the graphics. It's a monochrome game, but it's got some, maybe not monochrome actually. You might be slightly brighter than the surroundings, but a definitely toned down palette in the game. Yeah, this is darker than some. It's not monochrome definitively, but it looks kind of nice. It's got a sort of a Game Boy-esque look to it. Notwithstanding the hard to read font, it's got some nice graphics. Now, the object of the game, as far as I can see, is to gather as much money as you can without being killed. So you're really only after a high score, as far as I can tell. I dove in on my very first try to see if I could beat the game. I made it through the first 10 levels, the first 10 nights, I guess that would be, and saw no definitive change to the game and no indication that there is an end objective, so I decided to quit and record the gameplay session. Now, you move with the numpad. That's literally the only controls. You have 4 directions, the 4, 6, 8, and 2 keys on your numpad. I don't know if there's another keyboard command you can use, but that's really all there is to it. There are no other buttons you have to press, so kudos for keeping it simple. To search for money, you walk up to, say, a coffin, bump into it. Hey, I found a quick $5. Another quick $5. Just bones, and the ancient text glows. For some reason, when you bump into that one, it often says that. Doesn't seem to do anything. It's just a flavor text, I guess. Opening a door, bump into it. Done. And here we are in the first actual room. Now, I hope you can see my cursor. Up here we have a monster. There are different monsters in the game. And again, the graphics are gorgeous. That's clearly some sort of worm-like creature. But as far as I can tell, the AI for every single monster in the game is identical. And the AI is this. If you keep your distance, they move more or less randomly. They seem to somewhat detect you, like they have a greater frequency of moving towards you, perhaps, than you might otherwise expect from pure random movement. But the closer you get to them, the more likely they are to notice you, and when they notice you, they will come towards you. Now, there's no way to pass your turn. If you want to pass your turn, you have to bump into something. If I bump into this wall to the north, I've passed my turn. Now, the reason I want to quickly lose this game is to show you, while it is a very, very easy game to not die in, Until you figure that out, it's quite hard. If I let this guy touch me, you can see my health up here. This heart represents my health. If I let this guy touch me, bam. Actually, damn, I guess. We're down to half health. You get 2 hits, that's it. You basically make 1 mistake per night. If you make a mistake, you make a second mistake, you're dead and the game is over. That's literally how simple it is. There's no way to heal aside from ending the night, and the next night you come back, you got all your health back. Now, another interesting feature of the game, there is no way to attack a monster per se. Most roguelikes feature a bump to attack mechanism, i.e. you step into the square of a monster to attack it. Let's try that here. And there we go. If you do that here, it says away from me, and you push the monster back 1 square. That's very cool. You do have a way to deal with him somewhat. But that being said, there are a lot of cases where you can get yourself kind of screwed. I don't know if I could even accidentally get myself screwed here. Let's say I bumped into the wall to the south. I could still get away from it actually quite easily. But let's bump into the wall to the west. There. And I die because the second hit kills me. As I said, the gentleman I was watching play was really having a tricky time. He could not make it past the 3rd night, and he very seldom made it to the 3rd night. And on my first try, I was on night 11 before saying, well, what's the point? So let's actually give this game a full try. Restart. We're going to go into Alexander IV's tomb. As far as I can tell, you see the name up here. We're in Alexander IV's tomb. It doesn't really make a difference. It's just a nice little random name generation. Ancient text glows, baby. And into the first room. As you can see, different monster. Kind of a weird little sort of pumpkin head type monster. I like it. If we keep our distance, not a problem. There we go. Another monster up there. It looks like a mummy, I would guess. Again, what monster they are literally makes no difference. Let's make them chase us. I'm going to bump into the coffin, go around the coffin. Once they're next to you, they will literally pursue you endlessly. But they, like you, can only move on the horizontal or vertical lines. They can't move diagonally. So now that we're here, I can step through this door and I'd leave him behind. But the problem is, as I step through the door, he will step... Well, actually, I guess he'll stay here. He'll stay where I left him. When I have to make the return trip, which you do, I'll come into this room and he'll attack me and I'll take some damage. So before you leave a room, here's the first key strategy. Push a monster away. Do not let them stay adjacent to you before you exit the room. Done. Now here we are in the final room of the map. We're in the mausoleum. I guess the previous ones I think said crypt. I don't know. We'll see. Catacombs maybe? Doesn't really make a difference. But the final room always has one particular undead dude. Different graphics for them. This is kind of neat. Looks kind of like some sort of lich or magic user or something. But he's the undead Alexander IV. Now, the main problem I saw this other gentleman encountering, he would die sometimes in the catacomb areas. He'd often die in the mausoleum, because to exit the entire game, to end the night, you have to get up and bump into the switch to flip it, and then get back out again. The problem is, if you get up, say, in here, and this lich guy follows you, you're effed. There's just no way out. You can push him back, but then he matches your move per move, and then eventually he'll get you. So the key is, you have to make sure he's nowhere near where you want to go. And because of the fact that I realized their movement is more randomized if you keep your distance, we just want to keep our distance for now. Here, he's gone up on the left side. Let's creep up on the right. I'm going to go back. No, okay. You want to be careful. If he starts coming towards you, you want to go back and out. And there, if you saw when I hit the switch, it said the crypt is unsealed. No sound in the game. Nice graphics. There, he's nowhere near us, so we can take the time to keep robbing him. And we come out here, and because he was pushed back, he moves up for his turn. Doesn't get us. And we want him right on our tail because we can just lead him out. He can't really get us unless we make a mistake. This guy's nowhere near us. And there, we finished the first night. To end the night, you step out the door, and you're done. We're on to night number 2. We have $13. Richard the Lame. How can I pass up the Lame? Now I want to point out something else. When I try to go out the door right now, the door is locked. It is locked until you flip that switch. Now what I've showed you, to be honest, is the entirety of the game. Again, beautiful graphics, and until you figure out the movement strategies, it's kind of cool. But aside from the gorgeous graphics, once you've got the strategies down, it's about as easy as a game can get. And I don't think there's a victory condition. So we're going to play a few nights, and then maybe I'll even play through 10 nights and then wrap it up. I'll just kind of speed go through here. There's a nice little phantom graphic. Which rooms you get each night? I mean, they do seem to be set rooms in terms of pre-designed layouts of rooms. But which ones you get are procedurally generated. So that's where the roguelike factor comes in. That with the permadeath, with the the fact that it's turn-based movement on a grid, I think it definitively qualifies as a roguelike, but not a very challenging one. Neat little four-headed monster. What did I want to tell you? Also, it'll pick a new room, and then which graphics for coffins are which seems to matter. I thought at first that perhaps only the sealed ones were searchable, but it turns out all of them are. So search anything you see if you want to get a high score. Let's go up here. He's ignoring us totally. This night's a little bit longer than the last one, I think. The nights might or might not get longer definitively as you progress. Let's make him come towards us if we can. He's not coming. There we go. Let's go down here and make him come towards us. All right. Push him back. He's one square away at least. We can go up in here. Now again, here's a different thing. It looks like sort of a king, like an emperor or lich or something. It's kind of neat. Make sure he's staying away from your side of the throne, or else you will die. See ya, Richard the Lame. You are lame. There we are. It's night number 2 done. This will be a quick playthrough, guys. Casimir Probus. Please don't probe us, Casimir. Sorry, lame jokes because I don't know what else to say in this game. You've already seen the entire gameplay. That was the Cenotaph. This is called the Catacombs. I think it's an interesting game design. And pblc.works. Oh fuck! I fucked up there. See, I came up, and now when I do come out, he will hit me. So if I make any other mistake in this run, in the entirety of this night, I'll automatically lose. We are totally boned if we make another mistake. Come over here, Pumpkinhead. All right, fuck you. All right. Stay away from that dude. Look how bold I am. I guess I shouldn't have done that. Alright, we'll go over the wall, bump into it, make him chase us directly. Push him back so I don't screw up. We know we're getting hit once on the way out, so we can't afford to get hit again. I think this is the place we get hit. Yep, so boom, he hits us right off the bat. We are down to half our health. I'm going to walk slowly through this room so I don't accidentally bump into something and die. And there we go. That's night number 3 down. John the Red, Lek the Saxon. Albert's going to probe us now. In the Cenotaph. In the Catacombs. Just bones. Yeah, I think there's some interesting. There's a big sphere chasing us. Reminds me of a game we used to play called Impossible Mission on the Commodore 64, or the game Realm of Impossibility on the Commodore 64, where you could be chased by orbs. That's the key. That's really the final key, is to make sure that guy is not on your side when you go up here. That was the final mistake that other dude I saw playing was making every time. Just get it to chase you. There, boom. So once you've grokked these basic mechanics, yeah, the game's pretty simple. I think if the gentleman who made Ghoul, or the company that made Ghoul, pblc.works, Augustus the Old, Ragnvald. I don't know my Latin well enough. Is that a C? Is that 56 maybe? Or is that a 10? That's an X. Ragnvald the 16th. Louis the Peaceful. That sounds like the kind of tomb you'd want to rob. If you live in a world where undead exist and you find out you can go into a tomb that's labeled so-and-so the Peaceful, that's probably the tomb to go to. I think if this company was ever to... This graphic looks very reminiscent of the zombie graphic from... I'm sure it is a zombie with the flies flying around it. The zombie graphic from Classic Rogue that we played recently. If he's ever to decide to continue this game, the one thing it needs is differentiation of monster types. That's really all that would take. if you could change the AI of the monsters based on the death specter. I mean, great graphics. If you could change the AI of the monsters based on their type, if death could maybe teleport around once in a while, say, or maybe there's one monster that if it hits you, it functions normally, but if it hits you even once, you're dead. It does 2 damage, or I don't know. Coming down, because if we got trapped up there, we'd be sorry. Not letting you trick me, Mr. Horny Head. Lewis the Peaceful. I say horny head because he has horns on his head. It looks like. Or a very high collar. Yeah, if they could in any way alter the AI of the monsters. So each one worked a little differently. Maybe one of them moves only once every 2 turns, but it does the 2 damage when it hits you, or maybe one moves once every 2 turns and then once every turn. I don't know, whatever. It would be tricky to figure out. Maybe one of them is more randomized. Whatever it is, if you can differentiate that, Lech the Just, Rudolph the First, the Victorious, Sigismund of Bohemia. Let's go for some Bohemian Rhapsody here. Yeah, if you could just alter the AI of the monsters. Oh, a cool looking monster. It looks like an electrified skeleton or something. Maybe it's a burning skeleton. I don't know. Whatever it is, it looks awesome. A spider, I'm guessing. If you could do that, I think you'd have a really funky game on your hands. But as it is, yeah, there's a brief learning curve, and once you're past that, the game is unlosable, really. Maybe add a victory condition too, like 10 nights is enough. Say if you make it through 10 nights, you retire with that, that's your score. Richard the Exile. No, Stanislaw the First. Why? Because I am an actor, and Stanislavski, of course, is a classically known acting teacher / acting method. Not that I subscribe to it, but in honor of the great Stanislavski, we'll raid Stanislaw's tomb. Come down here, spider. We're going to speed run this now. Even when you push him in the corner, that should have been a fatal mistake. He was standing here, I was standing here, I pushed him. He had nowhere to go. But it still cost him it pretended like it pushed him out or something. That should have cost me. It should have been that I screwed up there and he attacked, in my opinion. Because what's going to happen when you push somebody into a wall? They're not going to go through it, unless you're the Hulk. Or they're a ghost, maybe. Maybe in that particular weird case it made sense. Oh, fuck, he got us. I did forget to remove him from our vicinity. If I did that earlier, we're dead. There you go. I forgot to do it earlier. But yeah, as I said, speed running there at the end. And as long as you don't do that, as long as you don't do anything stupid because you're just rushing through, the game's very easy. So that's it. That's Ghoul. Like I said, if you've watched it, high praise for the graphics, high praise for the general concepts that work in the game. It feels like a basic game was put in place, but it needs more fleshing out to really make it have any staying power whatsoever beyond the first 2 times you play and you're trying to figure out the basic mechanics. But yeah, give it a download if you want. See if you can. I'm sure you can beat 7 Nights on $106. If you're really feeling patient, go as long as you can. Let me know in the comments below if you reached level 100 and it still hasn't ended. Tell me if there's an end in sight, like level 30. Then I'll play it just to get the victory, so I can add it to my little private list of games I've beaten. As it is, this game is, as far as I can tell, technically unbeatable and also kind of unlosable. All right, that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed that quick little Let's Play. I'll be back in the future. I still have some some reviews being made. They just take a lot longer than other things to make, and they're not as much fun. Let's be honest. They're not as much fun to make. Who wants to edit? And of course, I'm still working on Caverns of Zescasian 2, and of course, I still have a day job and auditions and a wife and family to tend to. So I'll get to more when I get to more. In the meantime, have a great time. Find some roguelikes. Let me know what you're playing. Talk to you later. Bye. Quit? Is that going to dump me? No, there we go. All right, I'm going to kill my OBS. Can you see that come up? I don't know. Killing my OBS studio. See ya.